Hello, Audio Marks coming to you from the Sage and Public Library. Welcome to the Marks for Life podcast with your hosts, Jimmy, CJ, Joe, and Jared. The undisputed era of podcasting for casuals turned Marks wrestling fans to give you a direct line to all things in the squared circle. Enter the ring at your own risk. We pull no punches, we hit hard, and we will slam you with all the info you need to know. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Break open that champagne glass and enjoy a little bit of the bubbly. Hello, welcome to this week's edition of Marks for Life podcast. I am your reigning, defending, undisputed Le Champion de World, CJ.
Not for long.
I know.
I'm one of your co-hosts, Jimmy.
Jared, hi. How are you?
No dead air Joe this week.
No dead air.
He's away, isn't he?
He's visiting Jim Cornette.
He came back, but he got a cold. He's fighting a cold because he was upstate hunting.
At least that's fun.
I guess he was hunting for defense for Jim Cornette.
Oh, Jesus.
Dog bites. Anyways, we're just going to do a quick NXT AEW recap, specifically ratings, and we felt if the fallout from those ratings, as well as we're going to be talking about the Jim Cornette Miles situation. We're going to touch on those, and then we're going to get into big pay-per-view predictions this upcoming weekend.
Oh, I'm so
This
dead.
Saturday, we got NXT War Games.
War Games!
Thank you. And then we have Survivor Series, Triple Threat, Brand versus Brand versus Brand.
Brand supremacy.
Raw, SmackDown, Undisputed Era,
United States. All of them.
NXT.
Kenya, Spain. Everyone.
Samoa. All right. So let's just jump into it really quickly because Jim's inputting his things. He's got to drive Rena to Hafastra for sorority. Let's get into it for a hot, quick second.
You're an idiot.
But No, Joe's your idiot.
Yeah,
what am I talking about?
Yeah, you're not my idiot. You're just an idiot.
That's fair. I'm an independent
You're an
idiot.
independent, right? I was about to say, you're an independent promotion of idiot.
There we go. I'm an indie.
There you go.
So let's indie it. Okay, let's go.
Holy shit.
All right, let's talk about Jordan Miles for a hot second.
Oh, yeah.
Jordan Miles was officially released by WWE, but this was post him announcing he was going to be appearing on multiple indie shows.
Which
It's more like he quit.
After everything that happened last week that we talked about, this was probably the right move WWE made. Like you can't deny that.
I consider it more that he quit than WWE released.
I would agree with that. I think he quit, and then WWE was like, sure,
Granted
we'll
the
grant you
release.
Right. It's more like WWE being
they're
their
fighting
petty
like
selves.
a whole. Because at this point they're fighting off like potential racism.
No,
This whole
WWE
thing.
is just being like themselves. Like you don't quit, we release you. It's all.
Well, no, if like they didn't like, we're gonna keep you under contract. If they'd done that, then there would have been a whole that.
No,
would
this
have
was
been a
opening
huge
shot.
PR thing.
No,
It was. But now this begs the question. So they're able to release Jordan Miles, ACH on the whole on the whole racist argument. Then there should just that means every single other person that requested their release should just go on huge tirades about the company.
Yeah, what if they're just white males though? Like you can't play a race card.
But I don't know. There has to be some.
Luke Harper can't play a race card.
Who was it? Luke Harper. Sin Cara can play a race card.
I think
Yeah, but they're
didn't
gonna grant
release
him the release though, so that's fine.
Didn't
'Cause
they?
he
Yeah, I
hasn't-
think they
They
are
granted.
Not yet, but they definitely
I think they're
will, though.
gonna, right?
Yeah, they're definitely will.
They
Sin Cara,
could.
unfortunately, Sin Cara is nothing. Sorry. I mean, I enjoyed him.
So was
Which
Luke
one?
Harper and
One
Mike
of the 7
Kanellis.
Sin Caras?
Hold on, I'm getting there. Hold on. I enjoyed Sin Cara, but like I don't enjoy him enough to like care if he gets released.
Nah, I
I
couldn't care
enjoy Luke Harper and
I do.
Mike Kanellis enough to be like, if they're gone, I'm probably never going to see them on television again.
Mike Kanellis and Sin Cara couldn't care less
Is
about.
it bad that
Luke
I
Harper,
enjoyed
like.
the original Sin Cara more?
I don't know.
I mean, I think we all
crap.
kind of secretly did, but
He was so
Unico's
botchy,
not
though.
bad. I liked him.
Yeah, but it's interesting to see where ACH goes. He could go to Ring of Honor, but Ring of Honor's having a lot of problems, especially when they fired
Kelly Klein.
via email.
Yeah,
she
that
out
was-
on a concussion.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up. I'm not gonna lie.
She's the women's champion there. Just so this way you know, 3-time women's champion. But there's only like 5 people in the division, and there's like a lot of information's being said that they don't even treat their women's division properly. They don't highlight it. It's kind of like the Divas
Yeah, it's
matches
weird
from
because
back
on
in WWE.
Unlike their regular 1 hour like Ring of Honor shows, they don't really like put the women's on it. They have their own separate thing on. The last time I watched it was probably a couple of years ago. They had like a Facebook like quick video match There's just Women of Honor. It's like, really? You can't just
Women
put that
of
on
Honor.
I mean, it's a cool name, but like, you can't just put that, put the one feature match or put a feature promo on the main product. I mean,
right.
give me a break, guys.
So we don't know where ACH is going to go. He can go there. He can go to
go to Impact, face,
I really thought you were going to say he's going to put a stable in with Rich Swann and Willie Mack.
No, I was going to say he was going to face
Part 2.
Tessa Blanchard for the Impact title. That's what I was going to say.
No, I could definitely see Impact for sure.
Impact's on the rise right
Definitely not at AEW. I don't see that.
Yeah, who would have thought that intergender wrestling would have actually made a bigger impact on Impact Wrestling?
We got Sami Callihan versus Tessa Blanchard for the Impact World's Championship.
You got to give Impact credit. I mean, they've really turned it around from their TNA day. I mean, they're a pretty good promotion.
TNA days, their Hogan era, their Cornette era,
Ric Flair.
Well, not so much. That's still like part of the Hogan era.
I actually enjoyed RVD from that area, but that's just
I enjoyed RVD. The post one when they were about to revitalize, and then they kind of slumped, and then what's his face came back.
Aces and Eights?
No, not Aces and Eights. I was talking about no, with Global Force. What's his face?
Oh, Jeff
Jarrett.
Oh,
yeah,
God,
Jeff Jarrett.
yeah.
Then he got ousted again, and then they had to rebrand again, and now they're in a better spot.
No, Impact's good. Impact's a good promotion. Really, really is.
Let's hope they get a streaming deal, so this way I could watch them. But moving on from how Impact is doing well and Ring of Honor is doing crap and so on and so forth, Jim Cornette,
Hell of a guy.
Hell, yeah.
Hellish human.
Yes. He is resigned from NWA after making racial remarks.
Resigned.
Resigned, quote unquote.
Quotes.
He said, this does not reflect our podcast, by the way, but just quoting as the true non-journalism majors that we are. He says, Trevor Murdoch can go down a bike with a full bag of, what was it,
Fried chicken.
A bucket
of fried chicken and travel all across the country of Ethiopia and live, or something like that. And apparently this was a joke he made back in the 80s, and that was Jim Cornette's justification for it. He said that it is not a racial joke, it is a starvation joke.
Holy hell. Holy crap.
What's worse, the fact that he said the joke or the fact that his defense? Because I feel like the defense was way worse.
100% the defense. 100%.
This happened during Live Aid, so I figured it'd be an appropriate joke. And we're like, what are you doing, Jim?
Oh, man.
I need to hear Joe's defense of this.
Yeah, the reality is Joe will live and die by Jim Cornette. I don't know why, but he enjoys his podcasts. He finds him entertaining, and he is entertaining in like an asshole sort of way. But this is opening shot. I don't even understand how you defend this. There's no this is not a debate we're having here. It's just we're literally just talking about on a level. What level of stupidity is Jim Cornette on the scale? I mean, God, he's just an awful human. I mean, he's just a...
Let me... Hold on. I got to get this off my chest. Let me tell you something about Jim Cornette.
Oh,
he is the most garbage human person to exist in wrestling still today.
Yeah.
Listen, you can enjoy him for his, managerial style, and that's totally fine. And you know what? He has some good stories to tell, and that's fine. But he is not a... today, now, this kind of wrestling person. He is partially the reason why there's so much failure in a lot of the good promotions that we would call now. The pre-Hogan era of Impact, he was a part of that, I believe, which was And then you have Ring of Honor in one of the worst times ever in Ring of Honor, even though that gave us, Kevin Steen at the time, Kevin Owens. But man, he almost ruined 2 companies before they got really bad.
And now he's on 3.
Yeah, he believes that everything he says is
correct,
gold, and he just thinks what he thinks. He thinks because he has tenure and he's been around the block that this gives him the right to say and do basically whatever he wants. And he thinks he's what I don't know who he thinks he is. Paul Heyman? I think that's where he thinks he
Paul
is.
Paul Heyman's only racial jokes are about him being a Jew.
A Jew, and it's hysterical, by the way.
He's like, I am his best lawyer because
if you look at Brock Lesnar's contract, he has this clause thanks to the Jew that represents him. I'm like, you're great.
That's me, guys. In case you didn't know.
No, Paul Heyman's a legend, and I think Jim Cornette thinks that he's something like a Paul Heyman.
Yes.
I think he thinks because he can articulate himself and he knows about the business, he's been around the block, that he thinks he's Paul Heyman, and he's not. He's not even close. We shouldn't even be making comparisons because the reality is when you make a remark like that in this day and age, I can't believe we actually have to talk about this. Like, we actually have to have this conversation.
That's how me and CJ felt about last week when we talked about the whole Jordan Miles thing. And then, like, this comes up, and you're kind of wondering, like, man, like...
The thing is with the Miles situation, the more I think about it...
I think the Miles situation is a little trickier, personally.
I think the Miles situation is that it's a pretty good 50-50.
Because he's saying,
but you can feel sympathetic.
Shirt. I didn't notice the shirt. I glossed over until he mentioned it.
I'm going to be honest with you. When I read I didn't know anything about the shirt until he complained about it. I didn't even know there was a shirt. I didn't know anything. I saw the shirt, and I didn't read anything about it. And I just tried to look at it, and I couldn't see it. Like, initially, like, if I was just looking at it and I'm trying to find, like, the derogatory image, I couldn't see it. Honest to God, I could not see it. And then once I read it,
once you kind of like think about it and kind of,
I'm just like,
put it on.
Yeah,
when you kind of put not to make a joke about it, but if you literally put a face to it, then you kind of see it.
Right.
That's kind of the same way that I felt, and I've done, like, how would you say it? Sampling with, like, just random people, be like, what do you think of this? And they'd be like, oh, that's just a shirt. And then I kind of put the connotation of a black male into it, and you're like, oh, now I see it's very racist now.
Yeah, I really didn't think it was that bad. And I don't want to come off as insensitive or controversial. I don't.
No.
I think that if let's say there is even any sort of connotation of derogatory remarks toward any race or gender, it shouldn't have even come out. And I think that that's definitely the case here. I think that there definitely should have been some better PR, better reviews of the apparel, and I don't think it ever should have come out. However, I think Miles has taken it to another level personally.
Well,
I do.
like we said last week, though, like, when you saw the Periscope video of it, you kind of have to, like, at first I was like, okay, this is kind of like overreacting, and he calmly but, like, very firmly and aggressively said that, and then he got triggered, and then you're like, okay,
Uncle Tom.
Someone called it, like, if you watch the Periscope thing, there's like there's a feature where you can, like, tap the screen and hearts would show up, or you can type a message and the person who's recording it could see it. And the first message that come up says, "What up, Uncle Tom?"
Oh, boy.
You kind of have to go, he kind of, if he gets triggered at that, like, you can understand to be like, no, go on. You can go trigger. And then he went just to ham, and you're like, wow, there's a lot of pent up anger in this.
Yeah, I mean, it's an unfortunate situation that this has to happen because he's such a talented guy. He won the breakout tournament for NXT. I don't think the shirt should have come out. I think WWE post-shirt coming out has handled it as best as they could.
I agree with that.
I think Miles probably should have been a little more professional, because if you look at their track record over recent memory, I would not consider WWE racist. I mean, again, we're walking a tightrope here, but you look at examples of a guy like a Titus O'Neil, who is just a pioneer of the business, who outside the ring does more than anybody.
All right, you bring up Titus O'Neil, though, but this is the same guy that got a 60-day suspension, his first ever suspension for touching Vince McMahon.
But is that more because? And again, we're tightroping. We're tightroping here, but I think that's less of a race situation. That's more of just Vince McMahon being a kook. I think that if anyone did that, I think the same thing would have happened. I just think at the bottom line of this, I think, it should be less of a debate of how bad was it. It should be more of just, it's an unfortunate situation. It's a shame this had to happen. I just don't think it had to go this way. I don't think the shirt should have come out. I think Miles probably should have been a little more professional about it. If he's streaming things and people are commenting, he needs to probably have a little more self-control. Because I think there are, if let's say he left professionally, you could put AEW in the mix for where he could go, but he can't now.
I think AEW
because they don't want that press. They don't want anything like that.
I think they would have taken ACH if it did. I agree with that.
If it went more amicably.
Because granted, they said they'll only sign people who they view as stars because they seem to have a full roster right now, which I'm enjoying the product that.
And there's no controversy surrounding. The biggest controversy is Moxley leaving, but he left.
His contract expired.
Right. So there's no controversy in any. You know what I mean? Like it's. And I think AEW, and credit to them, I don't think they're going to gain talent just for talent's sake, and I think Jordan Miles definitely lost out on that opportunity for him himself. More money, AEW's an easier load on him instead, as opposed to going to an indie promotion, and there are a lot of good indie promotions. But that's just my 2 cents on the matter.
I can agree with that. Let's move on from this. Jimmy has to go.
Sorry, guys, I have to get going.
He has to start his second job as an Uber.
Oh, I hate you all. Anyway, I trust CJ will do the good thing.
Oh, don't do that.
Haha, expletive rating, here we come. Fuck, shit.
I'll kick it off. I'll kick it off to an oldie.
Fuck, hashtag shit.
I'll kick it off to an oldie but a goodie, and then we'll get right into predictions.
Oh,
Freeway for the TNA heavyweight title and sacrifice between you, Kurt Angle, and Samoa Joe. Now, before you get there, you have an important step tonight as you and X Division champion Petey Williams take on the unlikely duo of Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Samoa Joe, and you can see that statement is not true. See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% at best at beating me. And then you add Kurt Angle to the mix, your chances of winning drastically go down. See, the three-way at sacrifice, you got a 33 and a third chance of winning. But I got a 66 and 2/3 chance of winning, because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me, and he's not even going to try. So, Samoa Joe, you take your 33 and a third chance, minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 and a third chance of winning at sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning.
all right, I can't listen to Scott Steiner right now. Granted, I'm not sure if you saw the tweet, but there was a Jeopardy tweet where they actually did the Steiner math.
Oh my god!
Like the greatest of Jeopardy and stuff, and he just did it verbatim, but just replaced the names Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe with his opponents, and I'm just like, Scott Steiner is meta. He's relevant again.
Right. Scott Steiner will always be relevant.
Yes. All right. So it's back to me and Jared. A little bit of a premature commercial break by Jimmy, but just want to get into a quick NXT versus AEW ratings battle before we head on to the main topics of this morning. So NXT won. They won the ratings battle
first time.
First time. This is week 8. They had, I think it was 923. Yes, 923,000 viewers. AEW had about 897,000. Now, before we get into the granted, we are not taking sides. I know I've been very pro AEW as of late. I'm trying to be more fair and get into NXT. I just watched the NXT product this past week, and I do believe it was very good and deserving of the viewership. AEW was also deserving of the viewership as well. It could be interchangeable, but the fact is, 1,900,000 people have watched wrestling on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, it's really fantastic, just from a wrestling standpoint.
Of course. And now we're just going to go into the logistics of it. I think NXT had the best match between the two shows. Undisputed Era versus Revival was fantastic.
Yeah.
The brawls were excellent. I can't really attest to the matches otherwise. I don't think the matches were much to speak of besides Revival versus Undisputed Era. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. I think they were focused a lot more on brawls and the moments granted, actually Ricochet versus Matt Riddle was really good.
Lynch Ripley was
okay. Maybe I'm just not a fan of Ripley. I don't know.
Oh, I'm a big fan of hers.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of NXT, so
that's what I'm saying.
I'm biased. I'll admit it.
But yeah, I'm watching it and everything like that. I think there's a lot of standout moments. Ciampa versus Rollins, fucking amazing. I enjoyed the Kairi Sane Io Shirai moment where they're both looking at each other like, what the fuck? Why are you bad? Why are you bad? I'm excited to see where it goes. I hope that this ratings boost can carry. Personally, I hope, because the thing is, if this is a one-shot deal, if this is they just got the boost because main roster stars were expected to be there, and then they drop next week, it will not look good for the NXT brand.
I think it depends on the drop. It depends on there's a few things. First off, I think that we're not in a world where ratings garners product.
Yes.
As in, like, when WWE and WCW were going at war, the ratings were what won. I think that the public is considering this the Wednesday Night Wars. However, I really feel as though NXT and AEW are more just... I consider them less as rivals and more of compatriots. I think they're part of the alternative. And I feel as though these two products are just trying to show you about the alternative. And I think they're both winners, regardless of now if there's such steep drops and
I think it's like
so
a
on
friendly
and so
rivalry.
Yes, I really don't think. I think that WWE's main product and AEW are rivals because there's been bad blood on both sides. I think that's legitimate. I think that's, and I don't know if I'd call it a war because WWE is such a conglomerate. AEW would have to build itself up a little more, but I think that is where you consider some hatred. But it is a competition, but it's a friendly competition, and I truly, I watch all the wrestling every week. I try very hard to
Good for you.
to get through it all. The things I make sure I watch NXT and AEW every week. I haven't missed a show. I've watched them both every week. Sometimes I'll sacrifice Raw or SmackDown at times. But NXT and AEW, I make it a point to watch it every week. I prefer NXT's product. That's just my preference. I've said it on this podcast that both are great shows with great promotions, great products. And like you said, I would definitely like to see this propel NXT in viewership. And I think it might, and it's depending on how this weekend goes.
Do you think that NXT did a good job of spotlighting its talents during this past week? Or did they focus more on the brand warfare rather than the talents themselves? Because the thing is, that's a key point here is that, the main roster stars are not going to be there every week. But to spotlight the NXT talent that it does have, do you think it did a good job of that?
I think it definitely did. I think it's done a good job over the past month. I think this whole build to Survivor Series, period, like just the build to Survivor Series has been really great. I think we're looking at one of the strongest WWE weekends of wrestling in a very, very long time on paper.
Chicago's making bank right now.
I mean,
I'm going to bring this up. Chicago has SmackDown, then War Games, then Survivor Series, then Raw, then AEW.
Yes.
Which is going to be insane.
Yeah, I think I'm looking at the card now, there's not a bad match on paper.
No.
Not a one. Not a one. And if you look at the builds, they're all built well. You don't see that in WWE's product anymore. It's always the talent, but the booking is subpar. War Games is War Games. War Games might very well be your pay-per-view of the year to this point.
Of course.
But just WWE as a whole, it's very impressive. So I think that NXT has definitely been made to feel important. I think that and I think what I like is NXT, main roster stars are not just coming to NXT. NXT is coming to the main roster. I think that really, really helps. I think
helps the product.
For sure. I think when you have a match like Adam Cole, Daniel Bryan, which was brilliant. And Daniel Bryan is, a pioneer of the business. Daniel Bryan will do whatever it takes to put people over. I think Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns, that's where they separate themselves from a guy like Seth Rollins, who I don't know if Seth Rollins is as eager to lose and help the guy out. He'll shake his hand afterwards, but he may not take the loss. Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan will do that. They will. And I think that guys like that, putting people over like that, Adam Cole's a big deal. Undisputed Era is a big deal.
Undisputed Era has been the biggest part of this NXT invasion.
Rhea Ripley just pinning Charlotte Flair yesterday. On a crucifix pin,
which was an excellent pin.
A very smart pin, right?
For those of you who don't know, Charlotte Flair went into the figure 8 on Sasha Banks. It was a triple threat match. Rhea Ripley actually snuck in underneath that bridge
and grabbed her shoulder and pulled him down. It was a really smart move.
And Sasha couldn't do anything because she was trapped.
Yeah, I think that's I'm really happy with how this has been done. I really am. I'm not necessarily... They don't have to... Because War Games is coming up. And if they lose a lot in Survivor Series, which they might, there's a big excuse here, and it's legitimate. War Games is going to kill the whole roster. But I don't know if they necessarily have to win everything to look good.
No, they have to look good.
Put up fights. Really put... And they're gonna. 100% they're gonna. And it's been a real joy to see my personal favorite promotion be built up like this.
The only thing that's worrying me, and now I'm going to get into the AEW side. AEW, while losing the ratings battle this week, has won in every single demographic except 50+.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's the scary part. So NXT had the better overall viewership, but most of them were from the WWE casual Raw SmackDown viewership, I'd have to say. AEW still had all the demographics, are still otherwise, and that's an interesting statistic. AEW, on the other hand, had great matches between Rey Fenix and Nick Jackson, which was holy crap.
Well, Darby Allin stole the show. That stole the show.
That alone made me want to watch it.
Darby Allin's legit. I think this match, to any naysayers, that match proved it. Darby Allin is a legitimate force. You could definitely argue he could be a part of a main event picture.
Jericho's the greatest character of all time.
Jericho's your wrestler of the year. I mean,
God.
Spoiler alert to our marquees next month, but Chris Jericho is your wrestler of the year.
Yes, overall wrestler has to be Chris Jericho, especially that promo where he's like, "I'm Jake Hager, sorry." That's just hilarious. Scorpio Sky, I think, is going to be breakout. I think, like, low key, I feel like he's going to be a main player.
He's a great athlete, really great athlete, and
he's got that charisma too.
Yeah,
he's got that nice, humble charisma. Which
definitely does.
I'm looking forward to that.
Like I said, I think that
Luchasaurus is a monster.
Luchasaurus is crazy. I think most likely what you will see is probably going to go back to AEW, just being a little bit ahead of NXT each time.
I'd like to see them both break 1 million viewers again. I would love to see that.
I don't know if you will. I don't know if you're going to see both break 1 million. Unless big thing, but normal episodes, you're probably not gonna. I think they're both gonna teeter around the 800, 700 mark most of the time.
AEW's been around the 900. If we can get NXT back to that as well,
yeah.
I would like to see them compete with each other in a way to bring the ratings up.
Yeah.
To compete with Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, and I think I just think it's great. I'm more like, I am not an anti-AEW guy at all. I really like their product. I prefer NXT. I'm more of a fan of NXT, but by no means am I disregarding their product at all. I want to see both succeed.
Like, I remember watching Keith Lee take out Drew McIntyre, and this past, I'm like, I was upset at myself. I'm like, I missed out on this because I'm like, you know what? I really can only focus on one thing, and now I'm trying to make it so I focus on both and stuff. I'm not watching the main roster product. I can't. It's hard for me.
SmackDown's definitely easier to get through, personally, and I think that's mostly just because of the length. I can't make it through a 3-hour Raw.
Try sitting through a 3-hour Raw.
I can't do it.
It's horrible.
I basically what I do is I'll DVR Raw, because it's usually I'm watching like Monday Night Football. So I got that one on the DVR. Tuesday, this is my schedule if I could somehow make it through all this wrestling. So Tuesday, I watch Raw back. Wednesday, I watch NXT and record AEW. Thursday is football, so I can't watch anything there. And then Friday is when I watch back AEW and then I watch SmackDown. In a perfect world, that's what I do.
Jesus Christ.
It's not perfect. I miss out on a good amount. The struggle is getting through a 3-hour Raw. My God.
There's so much crap.
The length. How is it not a 2-hour show?
Money, brother.
God, killer.
Yes. Let's get into NXT War Games.
War Games!
We'll take a quick break after that, and then we'll go into Survivor Series. All right. So, on the card, we have Isaiah Swerve Scott taking on Angel Garza?
Angel Garza.
It's not, or is it Hector Garza?
It is Angel Garza.
It's Angel Garza.
100%.
Okay. I think it was Hector Garza at one point. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, no, not prior. Garza, whatever the fuck his name is. The guy that versed Leo Rush.
It's Angel Garza.
All right, Angel Garza. They're versing on the pre-show. We have triple threat to determine the number one contender for Adam Cole's NXT Championship, which will be in a match on Survivor Series on Sunday. We have Pete Dunne taking on Damian Priest versus Killian Dane. We have Finn Balor taking on Matt Riddle. We have the first NXT War Games match, the women's match, headlined by Shayna Baszler, the NXT Women's Championship. She's joined by Io Shirai, Bianca Belair, and the NXT Women's UK Women's Champion, specifically Kaylee Ray. On the flip side, we have Team Ripley, led by the woman herself, Rhea Ripley, and she's joined by Tegan Nox, Mia Yim and Candice LeRae. Finally, we have the Team Undisputed Era with NXT North American Champion Roderick Strong, NXT Tag Team Champions Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, and NXT Champion Adam Cole, Bebe, taking on Team Ciampa, which is Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic. I apologize. Dijakovic.
God.
And Vacant.
And question mark.
All right.
Whew.
So Joe thought it was going to be Swerve Scott as the final participant in Ciampa's 4-man squad, but we will get into that.
Is that who Joe thought it was going to be?
I think so. Either that or Morrison or Punk. I don't know.
Punk.
All right. Before we get to it, do you think Punk's popping up at all this weekend?
Yeah, I think he's going to show up at Survivor Series.
Really?
Not to fight. I think he may do a promo. Or maybe some backstage. I do. I think it's a huge opportunity missed if you don't. They're in Chicago. He just came back. The crowd is clamoring for it. He could say like 4 words, and the crowd will explode.
Best in the world.
Yeah, right. Hi. Ah! Like, I think just...
No. Here's what NXT does. Like, what was it? Adam Cole be like, hey, guys, I'm not... CM Punk pops up. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's... I don't know if you have to get a whole... if you do an entrance and you get him in the ring for like a 1 minute like thing, that would be like 10 out of 10. Even something as simple as just like a little backstage promo, great.
The thing is, I know Triple H and Vince are both going to be there, and I don't... Well, more Triple H than Vince. Like, I don't know how that's going to pop up.
I'm curious to see what happens, but I think it's an opportunity miss if he doesn't just say something.
Of course.
He's not going to fight. He's not going to take part in anything, but I think a promo would be really great.
I agree. I think it would be nice. I'm not expecting it.
No, I'm not expecting it, but I think it would
We'd
be
all
a huge
appreciate
opportunity missed if you don't.
All right, let's get into it. Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Angel Garza. Jimmy has Angel Garza. Joe has Isaiah Swerve Scott. What do you make of those?
So on NXT, Lio Rush and Angel Garza have been feuding for the Cruiserweight title. They had a match a couple weeks ago. It was brilliant. It was a fantastic match. If you have the opportunity to watch it back. A lot of near falls, a lot of big spots. Brilliant. They have completely built up Lio Rush again. Lio Rush has been fantastic as the title holder. Just kind of like this enforcer of just like, I'm going to take you on no matter what. Angel Garza's been brilliant as well. And that match ended with Angel Garza's foot on the rope, but the ref didn't see it, so Rush got the win, which means that feud is continuing. Isaiah Swerve Scott, on the other hand, has taken on all comers. He most recently beat, Jonah Rock, which was his indie name, Bronson Reed.
That's such a good name, though.
Yeah. Isaiah Swerve Scott has been really, really good. He's taken part in multi-man matches. He's taken on, big players. He's really, really good. I, at the end of the day, think Angel Garza's definitely got to win this. He's still a part of the Lio Rush feud. It hasn't ended. So... And Isaiah Swerve Scott, NXT does a great job of having people take losses, but the matches are so good that it doesn't matter. And that's what's going to happen here. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic match. What a way to start War Games. But at the end of the day, Angel Garza's got to win this. The feud's continuing.
I'm going to throw it to Garza, if only because of the feud. I think Swerve is good, but I think Garza has that... He has that kind of, like, piece of shit charisma that, like
an Andrade, a little bit like an Andrade.
I didn't want to say it, but
a little bit.
He reminds me a lot of Andrade.
A little bit.
All right, we won't say the elephant in the room. He looks like Andrade.
God, why do you?
I'm sorry, but he does. It's the goatee and the hair.
We've been having some professional discussions these past 10 minutes, and you killed it.
Yeah, but in all honesty, I feel like Garza's more marketable than Swerve. I feel like Swerve will have his time, but he's just not on the level of Garza yet. And Garza's getting more of a reaction than Swerve, in my opinion.
Yes, Garza's getting more reaction. He's just... If Rush beat him definitively, I may have different opinions about this. The feud is continuing. If Garza loses, then the feud ends, and you can't do that.
Yeah.
You just can't. So, Garza.
And I feel like you could save Swerve versus Rush at a later point, because I feel like that's a money match in the making as well, but you got to build up Swerve for it.
Yeah, the only way that Swerve can win this would be is if Swerve won and got inserted into some sort of triple threat. But if Garza loses, he won't deserve that because Swerve just beat him. So and Swerve's a face. It's not like anything unclean is going to happen. So yeah, you gotta throw it to Garza in what should be a really great match.
All right. Next up, we got Team Ripley versus Team Baszler. Jimmy has Team Ripley. Joe has Team Baszler. What are your thoughts?
Oh man, I don't know.
I'm gonna throw it to Team Baszler. Personally.
Everything hurts.
I feel like Team Baszler has this. I feel like Baszler needs to be built up for
The Survivor Series.
for Survivor Series. I feel like and the thing is, I feel like Dakota Kai can cost the match. I feel like there can be something with that. You have the 4 horsewomen in there as well. I feel like Baszler's just much more marketable and unbeatable than Team Ripley. Like look at her. Like, just look at her her team. Her team alone. Bianca Belair had a very long undefeated streak. You have Kaylee Ray, who's the current NXT UK women's champion.
And Io Shirai is probably the best wrestler in the world at this point. The best women's wrestler.
On the flip side, you have Team Ripley. Ripley's
great.
She was the inaugural NXT UK champion.
Candice LeRae's brilliant too.
Candice LeRae is brilliant, but she hasn't really
Tegan Nox and Mia Yim are probably... Mia Yim's good, and Tegan Nox has just come back from a major injury, so those two are probably are certainly the weaker of the... Again, these are great wrestlers. NXT is the best women's division in the world right now, but there's definitely... If you just look at it talent-wise, forget from a booking standpoint, talent versus talent, the heels are definitely stronger, for sure. For sure.
The only problem is, if Baszler beats this, I don't know where Ripley goes from here.
Well,
because I could see it if Ripley would need to win to set up a fatal 4-way, winner takes Baszler and stuff, and then Ripley gets murdered.
Here's the thing. I'm taking Team Baszler as well. This is the toughest match on the card for me personally, because you have the argument that just Ripley wins and you get that feud and so on and so forth. I think the War Games matches play into each other as far as a prediction standpoint, and we'll get to the Ciampa one or the UE Ciampa War Games match. I think they kind of play into each other. Both heel teams have the advantage, so I think that plays a role. Kaylee Ray is actually outstanding. A lot of people don't know her because she's from NXT UK.
You watch NXT UK?
Here and there.
Right.
Yeah, not I'm not going to act like I'm but I do. I enjoy watching Walter Imperium, Joe Coffey, Kaylee Ray, Toni Storm, Piper Niven. I think they're all I think it's a really good promotion. It really is. And Toni Storm, by the way, was on SmackDown last night, if you didn't know. Toni
She's
Storm,
actually part of the team.
Well, they haven't announced it.
No, they did. It's on
Oh, they did? Is that the 5? I don't think...
At least it's on the wiki page.
Well, that's not... I don't think they confirmed it. Double check that.
On Wiki, it's Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm, Mia Yim, Tegan Nox, and Candice LeRae.
Yeah, I don't think they confirmed that. I would look at that. I think that we're now getting an idea that that's going to be the team. But I would look into it. But yeah, Toni Storm, who is amazing, former NXT UK champion. I mean, she's fantastic. Toni Storm is brilliant, and they didn't even announce it. They just showed her, and I'm watching on my TV last night. I'm like, wait a minute, that Toni Storm? Like that was something. So I think that NXT UK is really good. Kaylee Ray is really, really good. There's a few going on over there. I think there's going to be a triple threat with Piper Niven, Toni Storm, and Kaylee Ray for the title.
I love Piper Niven.
Yeah,
low key, she's really good.
So that's obviously going to be great. So I think that inserting Kaylee Ray certainly helps the case here. I think that this match, I think the War Games matches tie into Survivor Series. And we'll get to the predictions. I think they all kind of tie into each other. I have Team Baszler winning here because I think it helps Shayna the next night. Mm-hmm. And it ties into my predictions. I think they have the better, stronger team. And I think the thing that's great about War Games matches is this can 100% help Ripley and have them lose. It's 4-on-4, and it's a complete chaotic train wreck.
Wrestle Inc. Says that it is...
It is confirmed.
That's what Wrestle Inc. said. So, and they're pretty reliable.
So. Okay, they are usually pretty reliable. Okay.
So I'm going to go with that.
Thank God. At least I have an idea.
WWE didn't announce it, but Wrestle Inc. did.
All right. Okay.
Wrestling Inc's usually more reliable than WWE. Though, so.
Yeah, it's a tough match to call. I've gone back and forth with this because you could definitely say that Ripley could use the win. I think if they do it right, Baszler wins to help her in the immediate. Ripley's team could be part of Team NXT in the women's match. We'll get to that later because that ties into my predictions.
Yes.
And it's a tough match. Tough match to call, but I'm going to go with Team Baszler here. I think talent wins out.
I think Baszler also needs I think she needs a lot of the signature wins because I think it's gonna go into my predictions as well.
I agree.
All right. Next up, we got Riddle versus Balor. Balor has to win. Jimmy and Joe also picked Balor. He cannot lose his first singles match.
Yeah, easy match to predict on the card. It's gonna be brilliant. Matt Riddle, again, something great about NXT is the matches are going to be so good that it doesn't matter who loses. Everyone's going to benefit. I don't want to call it match of the night because they could all be matches of the night. But Balor, of course, needs his first win back from NXT, a pay-per-view match. So, yeah, got to go Balor here in what should be a very hard-hitting match.
Yeah, I agree. We also have Pete Dunne versus Killian Dane versus Damian Priest. Jimmy and Joe picked Pete Dunne. I feel like Pete Dunne is a smart pick here. I would say Priest.
I wouldn't count out Damian Priest here. I wouldn't. Not Killian Dane. I feel good about that.
But I feel like Pete Dunne and Adam Cole can put on a better match to represent the product.
I agree. I'm also taking Pete Dunne. I think that if this didn't have the stipulation that the winner was facing Adam Cole, I'd probably go Priest, to be honest with you. But I think that, just looking at it from a general standpoint, he's the only face. And, face heel dynamic, that's definitely easier to face Cole. And I just think the two of them will gel the best out of all of them. So, yeah, I would definitely give it a Pete Dunne there. I think, yeah.
Finally, we have Team Ciampa versus Undisputed Era.
Yui.
There we go. Jimmy and Joe picked Ciampa. I think we're all betting on that surprise entrant.
Yes.
I'm going to go Team Ciampa as well, if only because I have a different prediction for how Survivor Series is going to go. But, I feel like Undisputed Era, they're so protected and stuff, and I feel like Team Ciampa needs the win, and Team Ciampa needs it to stand over Adam Cole as the next challenger.
Yeah, I think similar to the Ripley thing, I'm taking Team Ciampa. I don't think that Ripley losing hurts her push. I think because she's been around. This is Ciampa really just recently came back, so I think that Ciampa needs this to push through his feud with Cole. I think he can't. I don't think he can lose this. I think his team has to win so Ciampa could continue the feud.
Yes.
And yeah, definitely the surprise factor. I have a couple ideas of who it's going to be. I thought about Johnny Gargano, but I don't think it's going to be because that's what caused this in the first place. It was supposed to be Gargano in this.
It should have been. The thing is, if Gargano was well enough to compete, he should have been fighting Finn Balor.
Yeah, supposedly it was either going to be. They weren't sure. They weren't sure if they were going to pull the trigger with Gargano now facing Balor or keep it as Gargano and Riddle were going to either be one was the War Games guy, one was facing Balor. But him being gone is what caused this kind of thing, so I don't think he's just going to show up anyway. So,
Morrison's a possibility. And
Morrison
stuff.
Would definitely be the biggest pop. I could definitely see it happening.
I was thinking originally the winner of the triple threat match because that was originally announced for NXT. And
Right.
if they kept to it and stuff, I would have said Pete Dunne is the final member and stuff just to build that.
Yeah, I think it would have been underwhelming because he was part of it last year.
Well, so was Undisputed Era.
Well, Undisputed Era is part of it every year. But as far as a surprise was concerned, I think I've heard a lot of people say Kevin Owens. I don't think it's happening.
No, I don't think so. I think the twist would be on Survivor Series if he was to turn.
Yes, correct. I think my personal pick, I think it's going to be Velveteen Dream. I think that they said he's going to be out until the end of the year. We don't know. I think he's got, obviously, the Undisputed Era were the ones that knocked him out. I think that's definitely your best bet.
Samoa Joe.
No, he's in bad shape with his thumb. I pretty much think Velveteen Dream would be the one that makes the most sense. Get you a good pop, and it makes sense that he has something against Undisputed Era. John Morrison would be like the oh my god. John Morrison would be the oh my God moment. I think those are your two most realistic ones. Do you have another one you would throw in?
Nah, because I don't think it's CM Punk. I don't
Not
think
a
they'd
chance.
waste that.
Not a chance in hell.
I would say Morrison, Velveteen Dream. The thing is, there's not many surprise entrants that you could really throw in for NXT.
You never
That's the hard
know,
part.
but yeah.
You know, like, granted, that surprise factor is usually really good, but it's like we really can't see anyone right now on the surprise factor. You know what I mean?
John Morrison would be a shock. I'm not throwing like we're talking about it, but it's one of those things where it's like if I see it,
because it
that
only
would be
pops up
huge.
that one day where
Right.
Morrison was like, "I'm going to WWE," but he never
and
confirmed it
and
himself.
he debunked it. He's like, I am. So I don't know. That would be huge. If John Morrison does show up, that would be huge. If Velveteen Dream shows up, I'll be like, nice. Like, but John Morrison shows up, that would be a shock to me.
Yeah, but we'll have to see tonight as to who the person is.
Yeah.
I know I'm probably not going to watch it till tomorrow because I usually wait for it to pop up on Hulu anyways.
Yeah, Joe and I are basically hurting ourselves tonight. We have a party to go to at 6:00.
Oh, no.
So we're going to do the party, but we have to watch War Games before Survivor Series, obviously. And so we're not going to get it ruined for us. So we're going to do the party, then the party ends, and we're just going back to my house, and we're just going to like blow through it starting at 11:00. Like we're just going to take like 5-hour energies.
All right, we
and a
won't
lot of
spoil
coffee.
it. I'll put it in the chat, too, because I don't want it spoiled either.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna we're just gonna power through. It's gonna be a long night. We're gonna be up till like 3 a.m, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for this pay-per-view, guys. I mean, it's gonna be unreal. These women in War Games are gonna. That's the one I'm most excited for.
I think
The women in War Games is gonna be unbelievable.
low key, I'm actually looking forward to Riddle and Balor the most. Like for me,
It's gonna be great.
Like I just want to see brutal Finn Balor.
Yeah,
and stuff.
you're gonna.
I wanna
It's gonna be
see-
hard hitting.
I want to see that. I love that kind of stuff. Like I remember back in 2017, I think it was Chicago, and like the biggest match I was looking forward to was Hideo Itami versus Aleister Black, and I'm like, I just want murder, and like,
Dunn Priest Dane is actually going to be really hard hitting. The way they work is very physical.
I see Dane being NXT Championship contender by the end of next year.
Could be.
They need a monster heel, and I would love to. Or Killian Dane versus Keith Lee. No, they had that, right?
I don't
Keith
think
Lee
so.
versus
I
Killian.
don't think so. Not to my memory. Maybe way back, but not in recent memory. I don't think. But that would be incredible.
All right, let's take a quick break, and we'll get into the second part of our predictions. And we're back. All right, so Survivor Series card. We got a lot of matches to talk about.
God help us.
Amen to
Picking
that.
this shit.
All right, first triple threat match on the card. We have the NXT North American Champion Roderick Strong taking on the Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura.
Nice new belt.
Yes, we will get into that. I do want to get into that hard. And then finally, United States Champion AJ Styles. The second triple threat match, we have Raw Tag Team Champions Viking Raiders. NXT Tag Team Champions Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish representing Undisputed Era.
Yui.
There we go. And we have SmackDown Tag Team Championship Kofi Kingston and Big E of the New Day. We have the third triple threat match.
So much.
Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch taking on SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley taking on the NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler. We have the women's 5-on-5-on-5.
Do not list them. Have some humility.
No, I got
Don't
this.
hurt yourself.
No, I'm going to do this.
There's no way you do this.
All right, you want to read it? Okay. So, we have Team NXT taking on Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae, Tegan Nox, Mia Yim, and Toni Storm.
It's probably them.
Yes. Team SmackDown.
Fuck.
Oh my God.
There's no
Sasha
chance.
Banks,
Okay.
Carmella,
Yep.
Dana Brooke,
Correct.
Lacey Evans,
Yes.
Nikki Cross,
Very good.
And then Team Raw.
Okay.
Charlotte Flair.
Right.
Asuka.
This one's a little easier.
Kairi Sane. Sarah Logan, of all
Yep.
people. Fuck.
Do you want a hint?
No, I don't want to hit.
All right.
I'm racking my brain. I'm going to say...
Do you want a hint? I can give you a hint.
I'm going to say Natalia.
Very good.
I'm like,
Natalia.
there's only other...
Natalia. That's right. Okay.
All right.
God, this is exhausting. It's
The
exhausting
men's.
listing. Oh,
Right?
Jesus.
Team 5-on-5-on-5. Raw has
Oh, God, I don't even know if
Seth Rollins,
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre,
Yep.
Ricochet, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens.
Yep. Correct.
Team SmackDown has Roman Reigns, Baron Corbin, Mustafa Ali, Shorty G. Oh, fuck. Who's that last guy?
You can't forget him. You can't miss him.
Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's someone important here. Versus Team NXT, which has not been announced.
Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark.
Which, in all honesty, we could probably take guesses.
I think you're probably going to see more faces.
I'm gonna-
Lee, Dominic.
I'm going to say Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic,
Riddle.
Matt Riddle,
Then I don't know.
Team Ciampa, Tommaso Ciampa, and I'm going to throw Damian Priest in there because he's been making kind of headways
I have
on the
no
invasion.
clue.
But
I don't
those
even
would be
know.
my 5,
I really don't know. I have no idea.
unless you throw in instead of Damian Priest, you throw in Finn Balor.
No, Balor's not going to be a part of it. I don't think
Balor
Balor's
doesn't
gonna-
care.
Nah, he's too good of a heel.
But brand. It's either Balor or Priest, but I feel like it's going to be the 3 people from NXT War Games,
for Team Ciampa.
Team
plus
Ciampa,
Riddle,
Riddle,
and
and
Priest.
then either Priest or Balor.
It's definitely not Balor. I don't think it should be.
Yeah. Unless you put in Isaiah Swerve Scott.
God damn it, Joe.
NXT Championship match. We have Adam Cole taking on the winner of the triple threat match from the previous night. We have the Universal Championship, Bray Wyatt defending against Daniel Bryan, and then in a no-holds-barred match for the WWE Championship, Brock Lesnar versus Rey Mysterio.
Mysterio and his pipe.
Yes, named Eddie.
Yeah. Oh.
All right, so
Yeah,
let's
that's everything.
Let's go on to it from bottom to the top.
Oh, man.
Triple threat: AJ Styles, Nakamura, Roderick Strong. Beautiful belt by Nakamura. Beautiful.
And I like the old IC title. I really do. Gorgeous belt. Really gorgeous belt. They hit it out of the park with this one.
Yes. The thing is, my question is, do you think they replaced it because they had the belt design for a while, or because Cody Rhodes introduced that belt?
Both. Both. First thought when the belt came out, I'm like, yeah, I know what they did. Like, yeah.
It's like when
It's
they
both.
swapped all the NXT belts after that whole Page thing.
Yeah, they've been looking. I think they've been looking to make the change, and then that like AEW kind of pushed them over the edge. Like, all right, pull the trigger.
Yeah, do it. Who do you think? All right, so Jimmy and Joe have the same people. I want to see your thoughts. Who do you think they got?
Who do I want, or who do I think they took?
All right, who do you want?
Oh man, these matches are tough. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna do this. It's not Roderick Strong. I feel good. I feel tentatively confident that it's not Roderick Strong. It should be Shinsuke Nakamura, but it won't be because they've just he's not booked well at all. He's just not booked well.
He just
at
got a new
all.
belt.
I know. AJ, I'm taking AJ.
AJ, who do you think they put?
AJ.
Yep. The thing is, I was thinking Strong.
I don't know. I don't think it's because of the.
Because I kind of was thinking like,
But he pinned the guy last night. But he got hit with a chair. I'm just this whole pay-per-view is just gonna give me headaches to predict, and it's from an audience standpoint, just watching, it's gonna be amazing. But from a prediction standpoint, it gives me migraines.
I'm gonna go Roddy.
All right,
Because I think Nakamura's there to take a pin. Like, here, you got a new belt, but
take this pin.
this is gonna lend to my predictions, but I feel like they're the best bets, and I think Roderick Strong will do it because I also feel like AJ's gonna lose the title next
To Korea?
to Carrillo because I feel like that would be a great way to.
I don't think they've
introduce
built
people.
him up hard enough yet.
Yeah, but I could just see hot potato.
Ugh, I don't want that.
I don't know.
I want Styles to defend more because I think he has been great. I love him in the OC. I think they're hysterical in their backstage promos. I think they're great. One of the few things on Raw that are good, that are really good. So I think just looking at the three, I think Styles is the best of the three.
Styles is always a safe pick. I'm gonna just stick with Roderick because I feel like he's not a bad pick.
He's not a bad. No, there's no bad pick.
Yes, there is.
All right, there might be.
I don't know how to spell Roderick.
Roderick.
ICK. Okay, because Jimmy has it. There's no E, and I was very
there's an
confused. I'm like, wait a second.
Roderick Strong.
Okay.
All right, so you're taking Strong and we're taking Styles.
Yeah, I also have to start picking new people, but I feel like Strong has like a great shot at doing it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm trying. It's gonna be.
We're gonna have next up on the. Fuck it, I'm picking AJ.
You pussy! Man up!
No.
You puss!
No. All right.
He's not strong enough to be the dissenting vote on that.
No. Because I see it so hard. I'm like, Roderick Strong's such a weak link. All right. All right, so we got the triple threat tag. Viking Raiders versus Undisputed Era versus New Day. Jimmy takes New Day. Joe picks Viking Raiders. I'm going to go UE.
I don't know.
I'm going to go UE.
Say things. Please give me more time.
I think Undisputed Era has... Granted, I understand...
Talk me into it, because I'm between Viking Raiders and Undisputed Era. I don't know which one to take.
Viking Raiders isn't taking a pin no matter what.
Right. New Day's taking the pin.
Yes.
So congratulations, New Day. You won the pin.
I feel like you should balance it out with... And I feel like Undisputed Era needs more wins in this brand warfare. That's the only reason why I was even thinking... You know what? Fuck it. I'm going back to Strong. I'm not being a pussy. I've already resigned to losing the belt.
This pay-per-view is giving me headaches.
I think it's going to be a clean sweep for the Undisputed Era. I feel like because they've been booked so prominently, I feel like they need to be positioned as the future and as a threat whatchamacallit? What's it called?
I don't know.
When they get called up. Because they're going to end up getting called up. I feel like...
it's more like called sideways now.
That way. Yeah, but I feel like Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, out of all of them, would have the best shot. I feel like Kofi Kingston and New Day, I feel like this loss is going to take their toll, lead to maybe a breakup kind of storyline where Xavier Woods saves it. I don't know why the fuck Viking Raiders are in here. Like,
well, they're the Raw Tag Team
that means nothing. None of these tag teams.
So who are you taking?
I'm taking UE.
Fuck.
Because he's like, you know that the UE and the Viking Raiders are going to have a thing. They're going to be like, oh, a face-off.
Listen, man, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm taking UE. I feel like they're the best.
Good for you. Oh, shit, this is hard, man. This match is impossible to predict because this match is tailor-made for the Undisputed Era. Viking Raiders and New Day could just stare at each other, high-low, done. But at the same time, the Viking Raiders just blew a load in Saudi Arabia, and they need to be booked strongly, and they could just pin the New Day. And UE has been built so strongly over this past month that if they look great and lose these matches, it won't do anything. But the Undisputed Era are a great tag team. They're cohesive. They're always working together, and my head hurts. My head hurts.
Who do you got?
I don't know.
Pick.
Viking Raiders.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, you're going with Joe's pick.
I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I can't.
Hard Fart Nation's still going strong.
No. I think that the. Did you type it already?
I did.
Good. Just go to the next one.
All right. Becky Lynch versus Bayley versus Shayna Baszler.
I hate these fucking. I hate these matches so much.
All right, Bayley's
How
not
big
winning.
of a lead do I have on you people?
2.
Shit, that's not enough.
You have 2 on me and Jim.
And 1 on Joe.
1 on Joe.
Yeah, that's not enough. It's not enough at all.
All right. Jimmy has Baszler. Joe has Becky Lynch, which I'm surprised on that he didn't pick Bayley, but we all know Bayley's eating the pin. No, you're picking Bayley.
You know, I actually feel pretty decent about this one, to be honest with you.
Why,
Taking Bayley.
Why?
I think it's how it's been booked. think Lynch and Baszler have been booked much strongly than Bayley. Bayley hasn't really been booked that strong. Aside from her beating up the NXT roster that one time, she's really been booked pretty badly. Last night, she tried to sneak attack Baszler, and it failed miserably, and she ran away like a wimp. So I see a complete Lynch-Baszler face-off, and I see Bayley sneaking in to get the win. I really do. I actually feel pretty decent about it, to be honest. One of the few ones that I feel decent about. I don't think it's Becky. That's actually the one I feel the best about. I don't think
That's what I was thinking.
Becky needs nothing. Like, she's the top woman in the company, and it's a triple threat.
Let's be real here. Probably the face of the company. At
Yeah,
this point.
what I really see is I think Lynch and Baszler are going to face off, and I think Lynch will eat the pin through a roll up. I think Bayley will roll her up, and I think Bayley will win. I do. I feel as good as I can feel about one of these matches. I think it's Bayley.
I think I'm gonna lean towards Baszler. I feel like Baszler
Not a bad pick.
because I think Baszler's gonna use this momentum, then drop the title to Rhea Ripley or something like that, and then go on to win the Women's Rumble against Becky Lynch. Because I feel as much as I want to see
Just
Lynch
shows.
versus-
Look at the parity here. 2 people Baszler, 1 Bayley, and 1 Lynch.
Well, which is really good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. As much as I want to see Becky versus Ronda, I would love to see Baszler versus Becky.
Right, and that's why I think Bayley takes the win here, because I think she needs it the most out of the 3, and I think it just sets up the Lynch Baszler feud, and Bayley will sneak in and get the win.
Yeah, sure.
Shut up, CJ. It's gonna happen.
All right. So women's side, Team Raw versus Team SmackDown, Team NXT. I'm not going through this again. I refuse. Jimmy has Team SmackDown for the women.
Good for him.
Joe has Team Raw.
Great.
Who do you have?
Some people. a division with women in it that will eliminate others.
Your head hurts so much.
It's killing me, man. I don't.
I've never seen you this stressed. The last time I saw you this stressed was after Nicholas.
Fucking Nicholas. All right. Let's break this down here. We're gonna do this together as a group.
Okay.
Did I say anything yet? Okay.
You have the list in front of you of like.
I know what I have, and I know what I have circled.
I'm gonna go Team. Nah, it's not Team NXT. It's not.
But is it?
No, it's not.
Is it?
No.
What if it is?
It's not gonna.
They're not gonna lose both. I don't think they're gonna lose both elimination matches. They won't. What, Undisputed Era just gonna win everything?
Undisputed Era are and Baszler are the only good NXT people though. And Ciampa. You know I'm right.
Don't talk too much because you're gonna hurt yourself. You're gonna just keep inserting. Oh, and Riddle, Keith Lee, Io Shirai's good.
Dominic Dijakovic.
Dijakovic. All right, I'm like sweating. This has been brutal. I'm all right. Did I say anything yet? Oh, shit. Okay. I'm taking. No, I'm doing it.
Are you?
Yes, gut feeling. I am taking the NXT women. The reason I'm taking the NXT women is because I think Team Ripley's going to take the loss. They're going to go in and get the win back, and that's going to help propel them because it's mainly the face people there. I think that even though Ripley won by roll-up last night, I don't think it's going to be opposite booking. I think it just helps them, and I think it plants the seed. I think you can see Charlotte and Sasha cancel each other out. As far as Raw is concerned, the Kabuki Warriors and Charlotte and Natalya are on the same team. They face for the tag team title, so they do not care for one another. So I could see them canceling each other out. Sarah Logan's crap. She will get pinned immediately. So there's Raw. SmackDown, you have Sasha, who I think is just alone. I think her team stinks. Her team is awful. Dana Brooke. I mean, like, what are we doing? So,
Carmella.
Wow.
Carmella's a former SmackDown Women's Champion.
Yeah, what's she been doing lately? Running around, getting piggyback rides from R-Truth. I don't think.
To be fair.
All right. Well, I don't think. I think you have to go with strength here. The NXT women are the best women. They're the best women, and I don't see Ripley's team losing and then losing again. I don't think it's going to happen twice. Now, if Team Ripley wins at War Games, I'll go eat my own ass. But assuming that Team Baszler wins, I don't see Team Ripley losing twice. I don't see it. I do not see it. And I see so much dissension between Raw and SmackDown, which was teased last night, and I think they're just going to continue it. Yeah, I'm pulling the trigger. I talked myself into it. NXT women.
All right, you talked me into it too, because I had no real pick. Because I'm like, no one needs this win.
My head hurts. Everything hurts. I think Raw and SmackDown kind of cancel each other out. There's too much dissension. NXT's strong. And if they lose, if Team Ripley loses, there is no way they're losing again. No way. There's no chance. I don't see it happening. So, Team NXT, women.
Yep.
God help us. So who'd you take? Team NXT for the women?
I have to take Team NXT. I'm just thinking, out of all of them, the only one I can make a logical case for is
Raw.
SmackDown.
Oh, really? Shows what Raw, SmackDown, great.
No, because SmackDown, if they get the win, it kind of propels whoever's the sole survivor to challenge Bayley.
Yeah, but it's going to be Sasha. And
Exactly. Then you can have that.
No, it's not happening.
I don't know.
I don't know either, CJ. Let's just go.
All right,
Just do it.
Men's team.
God, why do we have to go to that one?
Because we all know the next three. All right, you know what? Fine. We'll skip that one. We'll save that for the end.
Thank you.
All right, Brock versus Ray.
All right, can we just take our time with this? All right, I want to enjoy a predictable match here. Ray, miss it. No.
Brock Lesnar.
Oh, yeah.
Brock Lesnar. As much as I would like it to be,
Do you think it's a squash, or you think it'll be like a dragged out match?
Competitive.
Yeah, you think
Brock
so?
Lesnar respects Ray too much.
Yeah, I think it'll be a competitive match. I do. I see a competitive match. I assume the other two people took Brock, Jimmy and Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It has to be Brock.
it does. It has to be Brock.
I don't know who takes the belt off of Brock.
He's on Raw now, right? He switched to Raw.
Seth.
No, not again. No. I refuse to believe that Seth Brock will happen.
There
again.
is three people that could take it off him.
Wait, hang on. I want to do it.
Guess my three.
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens.
Okay. 3? Drew McIntyre?
2.
Okay. Not Randy Orton. Ricochet? Maybe?
Yeah, good.
All right.
That wasn't the one I had in
All right,
mind.
hang on. Don't. Come on. I'm not done yet. Who the hell who else? Not Seth. I'm not. No. Is that your third?
No.
All right. I don't know. Who's your third?
If they get him out of this crap storyline, Lashley.
Oh, God. Ew, fuck. That awful story. You know, Rusev thinks it's, like, amazing. Rusev has been quoted as loving like, he wanted this. It is so bad. If I see Lana, I hate her so much. I'm sorry. I have a lot of respect for the superstars and the product, and it's hard, and she's awful. She's just awful. I'm sorry. I can't take her. She stumbles over her lines. She just yells. She's so shrill. She's a train wreck. Why? Why are we doing this? All she is eye candy that locks lips with Lashley. I don't need that on my television anymore. God. Rusev, just beat them both up. Just beat them both. I'm pro Jimmy. I'm on Jimmy's side. Just go Rusev.
All right. Next up, NXT Triple Threat. NXT Championship, Adam Cole versus Triple Threat winner.
Just throwing more people. Fatal 4-way.
Everyone picked Adam Cole,
Yeah, it's
including
Adam Cole.
me.
It's Adam Cole. Build it up. Going to be a good match, regardless
Undisputed
of who it is.
Era needs to. I want to see Adam. I want to see them like take over the whole whole Survivor Series.
Yeah, see, the thing is with this is if Strong wins, UE's going to. I think they go hand in hand. You can't have one lose because Adam Cole's definitely going to win. So then that means if Strong and UE both win, then it's a sweep. If they both lose, and that's okay because you just keep it consistent because Adam Cole wins and the Undisputed Era still have all the belts. If you have one of them lose, there's kind of like dissension there. Like if Strong loses, you're like, well, I don't think that's going to happen. It's going to be consistency. You're either picking them both or you're not picking them at all, in my mind.
Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan.
All right. I think we're all going Fiend, I would assume. CJ?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Why wouldn't I go for?
I don't know, man.
Literally the greatest character WWE has produced in the modern era.
I'm curious to see how they do this because the Fiend gave Brian the Mandible Claw last night. So I'm curious.
What do you think of the belt? I actually like the blue.
Really nice. Really nice. Good.
Better than the red.
Right. I think I'm just saying really nice just because the red's gone. I'm just really happy about it. It's much more digestible than that awful red. Much more. I think it's a nice belt. It's not amazing, but it's such an improvement from the Raw one that I'm just like so happy about it that it's over. I'm curious to see what they do here with Bryan Because it's not like Brian won't put him over. Of course he will. But they just did the mandible claw. So it's like...
It's Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. It has to be.
Undertaker.
No.
Undertaker. I
No.
want it. I want it.
Bray Wyatt versus
No.
Undertaker next Survivor Series. 30th anniversary.
Why are we continuing this? Rest in peace. All right. I'm going Fiend, of course. I'm curious to see how they book it.
How do you feel about this not being a triple threat between Bray, Brock, and Adam?
Bray, Brock, and Adam Cole. Good. I don't need that.
How small would Adam Cole have looked?
Yeah, you'll book yourself into a corner there. Brock can't lose. Fiend can't lose. Cole can't lose.
Actually, Cole is the most expendable out of the three.
Shut up.
You know it's true.
I don't know about expendable. None of them are expendable. They're trying to... No, I know. I'm very happy that they're not doing that.
The only thing I'm upset about is we're still not getting Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, versus Brock Lesnar.
You can't do that yet, though. Bray's feud with Seth was awful. You got to build him up, and Brian's just the person to do it.
He's only faced world champions so far since his return, which is nice.
Who, Fiend?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's faced
Balor,
people. Well,
Rollins.
he's facing people that have wronged him in the past now.
Who else is wrong? Roman Reigns has wronged him.
The Undertaker has wronged him.
Undertaker. Randy Orton has wronged him.
But Undertaker.
Brock Lesnar wronged him.
Brock Lesnar wrongs everybody.
Bray could wrong Triple H.
All right. My migraines are increasing. Let's just get to the last match.
Team Raw versus Team SmackDown versus Team NXT. Joe as Team NXT.
Doesn't even know who it is.
Who would be the worst picks? I'm curious now. Bronson Reed.
Oh.
Cameron Grimes.
Jordan Miles.
Jordan Miles. We can't count him.
Triple H.
Triple H.
And Shawn Michaels. And Road Dogg.
No. Triple
right,
H,
I
Shawn
got it.
Michaels.
Road Dogg. William Regal. And then...
The Tank.
just
The Tank.
and it'll win. And they'll win. Because they're all veterans. Oh, my God. Billy Gunn comes back. Leaves
Gunn in that
AEW.
Battle Royal was awesome.
Yeah, he
though.
was something.
He was so great. I loved him in that.
What did that set up? So MJF and Hangman Page, what did they win? What did they do?
So they're versing on the following week.
Okay.
For a beautiful diamond ring. We don't know if it's going to be like something similar to Money in the Bank.
Because I heard,
Or
they
a
said
gift
it's
of the
for
gods.
a diamond ring, but I assume that diamond ring means something.
It probably
Please?
It probably is, but they haven't revealed it yet.
I swear, if it's just a diamond ring, it's got to mean something, right?
Well, apparently it's worth like $8,000.
All
Like
right.
a lot of money. So
Okay. Then MJF, if it's just a diamond ring, then MJF's going to win that.
if it's not just a diamond ring,
Then maybe Hangman Page will win.
MJF's still winning it.
Yeah, probably.
Wardlow.
All right, Wardlow. All right.
Jimmy has Team SmackDown, their men's team.
So Jimmy took both SmackDown teams.
Yes, no Raw teams.
Interesting. Well, that's...
No. So, oh God, he has 3 SmackDown picks.
He's got a lot of
New
SmackDown.
Days and both the elimination teams, and then Raw. He picked Raw for that.
Yeah, I have... What do I have? I have a Raw with Styles, a SmackDown with Bayley, a Raw with Viking Raiders, and an NXT with the women's match. So I have 2 Raws, a SmackDown, and an NXT.
I have 4 NXTs.
Holy shit. That cleans NXT, baby. All right. Who am I going with here? I'm going with SmackDown for the men. My reasoning is because you cannot pin both Roman and Strowman. Pretty much that simple. Add in the fact that there's a Fox deal, and I think this, normally in Survivor Series, the men's match is the biggest match. Fox has the deal. I know there's dissension with Corbin, but I don't really know how you eliminate Roman and Strowman. Not really sure you pull that one off. They're too big.
Okay, I'm gonna go Team SmackDown because I feel like Kevin Owens is gonna betray Raw.
But when they go to but he would go to NXT then. He wouldn't go to SmackDown. You just might have talked yourself into taking NXT.
I don't want to take a clean sweep of
Dude, it would be awesome. The all AEW fan takes all NXT.
because it's still better than Raw and SmackDown.
This is true. Yeah, for
The
me,
thing is, they could sacrifice the main product to boost NXT.
yes. But
Will they?
but I think if NXT clean sweeps post War Games, it hurts the main roster product even more. But does it matter?
No, because we don't care as much about the main roster.
Well, we don't care, but they do.
No. Oh, man. If they clean sweep NXT, that'll mean ratings up so they can win a second week in a row.
Yeah, but won't the ratings go up anyway if they lose? I don't know.
No, but like that would guarantee it.
Hey, man, I don't know. Just do it, both of them. No, I have no idea. I really don't know. These matches are so hard to pick. It could be Raw. Raw's got a great team.
But they have Seth Rollins.
It's true.
Yes.
You bring up a good point.
That's why I was thinking Team Raw, because like they would push Seth. They would do that.
What is it? Rollins, McIntyre, Ricochet, Orton,
Randy.
Owens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good team. It's a really good team. SmackDown's got a really good team too. Ali, Gable. I'm not calling him Shorty G. Corbin, Roman, and Strowman. It's a great team too. And then you got NXT, a Tank, William Regal. You know,
Keith Lee, Super Saiyan Keith Lee,
Isaiah Swerve Scott doing double duty. I mean, like
Cameron Grimes,
Leo Rush, good stuff all around.
Yeah.
God help us all.
I don't like my picks. I don't like any.
I don't like mine either. We're in it. Just type something.
NXT.
Oh my God, you're doing it?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I'm just thinking, because Team NXT's been kicking the crap out of the main roster this whole time.
Yeah, but isn't that supposed to counteract when they lose post-War Games?
No.
Just no. I hear the pain. No.
Like,
No?
I have so many different picks, I feel like I'll still win.
We all have different picks. I can't wait for them to all cancel and we just tie.
Oh, God.
I'm not sure how. Don't even summarize what we have.
You sure?
No, I don't want it.
Can
Is there any? Okay, we all have Lesnar. We all have Fiend. We all have. No, you took Strong. Fuck me. Oh my God.
All right, yeah, I have Strong. Everyone else is AJ.
I have Bailey. Two people have Baszler.
Me and Jimmy have Baszler.
And then
Joe has Becky.
And then Joe is Becky.
I have Undisputed Era. Jimmy has New Day. Y'all have Viking Raiders.
We all have Adam Cole.
Yes.
And then
Me and you have NXT for the women. And then there's Raw and SmackDown. Me and Joe have NXT. And then there's you and Jimmy for SmackDown.
Oh my God.
Raw's getting the shit end of this deal.
Well,
no, wait. Joe has 4 Raw.
Does he?
Yeah.
Styles, Lynch, Raiders, and Women's Raw. Right? Is that? It could be Raw. Always. Can I eat this paper? Let the record show I have a prediction paper. Oh my God!
That's the guy you were tagging with for 2 title reigns.
Yeah, kill me. Yeah, I have a what the hell do I have? I have a Raw. I have a SmackDown. I have a Raw. I have a SmackDown and NXT. 2 Raws, 2 SmackDowns, and an NXT post War Games. I'm happy with that.
No, that's really good.
2 Raws, 2 SmackDowns, and an NXT. SmackDown gets the biggest one, the 5-on-5-on-5. NXT gets a win for the women. I'm happy with this. Well, it's happy.
Give me Team Raw for the men.
You pussy.
Give me Team SmackDown for the women.
You fucking pussy.
No, because I'm just thinking War Games.
Yeah, but Team Ripley's not going to lose twice. There's no chance Ripley loses twice.
Stop talking me back at the
Do you think Ripley's losing twice?
But she was in War Games. She's
okay. She's not losing twice. It's not happening.
Fine.
If you
think I'll go full sweep on NXT.
Jesus, you're back to all of them? What happened to the
Raw
men?
Losing this belt.
You are dead.
And if I win?
Oh my God. Fine. Because then you keep the belt and then NXT is amazing. I can deal with that.
But it is.
Oh God.
There's so many.
I hate this.
All right, let's be fair here. We're doing the best out of War Games.
What do you mean?
Us two.
Oh.
Us two, we're doing the best out of War Games.
Are we? You took every NXT guy.
That's not War Games, that's Survivor Series.
You're talking about just a War Games pay-per-view.
War Games alone, I think we're fine. Against Jimmy and Joe.
Man, I don't fucking know. Who took Ripley? Who took Team Ripley?
Jimmy.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick.
Joe picked Isaiah Swerve
That's
Scott.
dumb. It's just dumb. It's just stupid. That's just so not smart. And that'll be...
You know what? I'd be okay if Jimmy won this.
Everything hurts, and I just want this to end. I feel decent about my War Games picks. I'll admit it. I like our War Games picks.
I'm
CJ.
very scared for my Survivor.
I'm horrified. Can we wait this? All right, 20 points for Lesnar, 1 point for everything else. It's going to be a great weekend of wrestling.
I am terrified.
Horrified. So what did you do? Are you I don't even think you know what you did.
I just secured my loss.
Great. Or win. Or you're either the legend or the GOAT. There's no in between with you. So you took
These are my picks.
you took all the
I
Undisputed
took
Era.
Lesnar. I
Right.
took Baszler. I took Undisputed Era. I took Team NXT, Roderick Strong, Bray Wyatt, and Adam Cole.
Yeah. You did it. Good for you.
They should rename this pay-per-view CJ's a fucking legend.
That's not what I'm going to name it. Holy shit.
I'm not going to keep this belt, am I?
I don't know. Maybe. Why not? I have no idea. They brought a tank last night. Maybe they do it. I don't know.
But the thing is, last time someone brought a tank, they lost. Rusev.
All right. I guess that's it.
Until next time, Audio Marks. Thank you, everyone, for staying tuned to our podcast. Special shout out to the Sachem Public Library for the continued use of their equipment and space. Hosted by CJ, Jimmy, Joe, and Jared. Produced and edited by Jimmy. Continue supporting us by rating and subscribing through Patreon, Audioboom, Stitcher, TuneIn, CastBox, Deezer, Radio Public, Radio.com, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts at Marks for Life Podcast. And now, check out our YouTube channel, Marks for Life Podcast, for our podcast playlist and other content. Please follow us on our social media on Twitter at Marks for Life Pod, Instagram, Tumblr, Reddit, and Facebook at Marks for Life Podcast. Email us at marksforlifepodcast@gmail.com for any questions, comments, or feedback. Until next time, Audio Marks.